Standing here today, I want to talk to you about a phrase that is often whispered in the heat of exhaustion, a phrase that separates the champions from the spectators and the achievers from the dreamers. It is the simple, unassuming power of just one more. We live in a world that is obsessed with the finish line. We are taught to look at the grand prize, the massive trophy, the million-dollar valuation, or the summit of the mountain. But in our fixation on the destination, we often overlook the cellular level of success. Success is not a singular event. It is a collection of tiny, repetitive victories. It is the decision to do what is required, and then, in the moment where every fiber of your being wants to quit, deciding to do just one more. Think about the last time you felt truly pushed to your limit. Perhaps it was a physical workout where your lungs felt like they were on fire, or a late-night study session where the words began to blur on the page. In those moments, the brain screams for comfort. It is wired for survival, and survival often translates to the path of least resistance. But greatness is not found in the path of least resistance. Greatness is found in the resistance itself. When you choose to do just one more rep, just one more page, or just one more hour of deep work, you are doing more than just completing a task. You are rewriting the software of your mind. You are teaching yourself that your perceived limits are actually just suggestions. Most people stop when they are tired. The elite stop when they are done. And even then, they find the strength to go one step further. This philosophy of one more is the ultimate compound interest of the human soul. If you improve by just 1% every day, or do just one more small action than is expected of you, the cumulative effect over a year, a decade, or a lifetime is staggering. We often overestimate what we can do in a day, but we catastrophically underestimate what we can do in a year of one mores. This isn't about grand gestures. It's about the quiet discipline of the mundane. It's the salesperson who makes one more call after 5 rejections. It's the writer who stays in the chair for one more paragraph when the inspiration has run dry. It's the parent who shows one more moment of patience when they are at their wits' end. This is where character is forged. It is easy to be motivated when the sun is shining and you have a tailwind. But the just one more mentality is built in the dark, in the cold, and in the moments of total anonymity. No one is there to cheer for that extra minute of cardio. No one is watching you proofread that document one last time, but you are watching, and you are the only audience that matters when it comes to the integrity of your ambition. We must realize that the difference between almost and attained is often just a single unit of effort. Many people give up when they are 3 feet from gold, never knowing that one more swing of the pickaxe would have changed their lineage forever. To embrace this power, you must become comfortable with being uncomfortable. You must learn to view fatigue not as a stop sign, but as a signal that the real work, the work that counts, is finally beginning. Everything you have done up until the point of exhaustion was just the warm-up. The just one more is where the growth happens. It is where the muscle tears so it can grow back stronger. It is where the mental barrier breaks so your horizon can expand. As we move forward, I want you to look at your goals not as a daunting mountain, but as a series of one mores. Don't worry about the 10,000 hours. Worry about the next 60 seconds. Don't worry about the entire book. Worry about the next sentence. By shrinking the timeline of your ambition down to the immediate moment of just one more, you make the impossible feel manageable and the extraordinary feel inevitable. Think of the psychological momentum you build when you tell yourself you will do one more and you actually follow through. You are building self-trust. Most people suffer from a lack of confidence, not because they lack ability, but because they have a history of breaking promises to themselves. They said they'd run 5 miles but stopped at 4. They said they'd work until 6:30 p.m. but left at 5:30. Every time you break a promise to yourself, your self-esteem takes a hit. But every time you do just one more, you are keeping a promise. You are telling your subconscious, that you are a person of your word. You are a person who finishes. You are a person who exceeds. This builds an armor of invincibility. When life throws a crisis at you, you don't panic because you know your capacity. You know that you have been in the pain zone before, and you chose to stay for one more minute. You have sat with the boredom, the frustration, and the exhaustion, and you didn't blink. That is the true power of this mindset. It's not just about the output. It's about the person you become while producing that output. You become someone who cannot be easily discouraged. You become someone who looks at a wall and doesn't see an obstacle but a chance to climb one more foot. The world is full of people who are talented but lazy, gifted but soft. They have all the potential in the world, but they lack the one more gear. They coast on their natural ability until things get hard, and then they disappear. But the person who lives by the code of just one more will eventually pass them. Consistency and the refusal to quit will always beat talent in a marathon. And life, my friends, is the longest marathon you will ever run. It is not about the sprint at the beginning. It is about the one more step at the end. As we delve deeper into this mindset, we must address the reality of failure and the exhaustion that inevitably follows a long pursuit. The beauty of just one more is that it serves as the ultimate antidote to despair. When life knocks you down, and it will, the prospect of getting all the way back to the top feels overwhelming. It feels like a burden too heavy to carry. But you don't have to get all the way back to the top today. You just have to find the strength for one more stand, one more attempt, one more day of showing up. Resilience is often misunderstood as a massive wall of strength. In reality, resilience is a thin thread that you refuse to let snap. It is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, "I will try again tomorrow." When we apply the just one more rule to our setbacks, we strip the power away from failure. If you can do just one more thing after a defeat, you haven't truly been defeated. You are simply in the middle of a comeback. Think about the great inventors, the pioneers, and the activists who changed the course of history. Their stories are rarely about a single stroke of genius. They are stories of grueling, repetitive trials. Thomas Edison didn't just find a way to make a light bulb. He found 1,000 ways not to make one, and after each failure, he decided to try just one more. This persistence is the hallmark of the obsessed. When you are obsessed with one more, you stop looking for the exit strategy. You stop asking how much longer, and start asking how much better. This shift in perspective is vital because it moves you from a state of scarcity to a state of abundance. You realize that you always have a little more in the tank than you thought. The human body and mind are capable of incredible feats of endurance, but they are governed by a governor, a mental limiter designed to keep us safe. The just one more practice is the process of slowly nudging that governor further and further back. Every time you push past the point where you wanted to quit, you are expanding your capacity for life. You are becoming a bigger person, capable of carrying more responsibility, feeling more joy, and impacting more people. This applies to our relationships just as much as our careers. In a world that is quick to cancel and quick to walk away, imagine the power of one more. One more conversation to find understanding. One more gesture of kindness when it isn't deserved. One more day of commitment when the spark feels dim. It is the one mores that save marriages, build deep friendships, and create legacies of love. We often think that big changes require big actions, but it is the small, repeated actions that build the foundation of a meaningful life. The compound effect of just one more is a law of nature. Just as a single drop of water can eventually carve through solid rock, your one mores will eventually carve a path through your obstacles. You must trust the process. Even when you can't see the progress, progress is often invisible until it is finished. You might do one more for 100 days and see nothing, but on the 101st day, the breakthrough occurs. This is why most people fail. Not because they lack talent, but because they lack the one more to get through the plateau. The plateau is the testing ground. It is where the universe asks you, how badly do you want it? And your answer shouldn't be a shout. It should be the quiet, focused action of doing just one more. Consider the athlete. The first 9 reps build the muscle you already have. The 10th rep, the one more that you didn't think you could do, is the one that builds the muscle you don't have yet. It's the same with your finances, your education, and your spiritual life. The extra is where the interest is earned. If you want to be average, do what is expected. If you want to be extraordinary, do what is expected, plus one more. That little bit of extra effort is the only thing that separates the middle of the pack from the leader of the pack. And the best part? It's a choice. It doesn't require a high IQ, a rich family, or lucky breaks. It only requires the will to stay in the game for one more second than the person next to you. This is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you started. It only matters that you refuse to stop. Every time you feel like the world is closing in on you, every time you feel like the walls are too high to climb, just focus on that one small unit of effort. Can you breathe one more time? Can you stand up one more time? Can you think one more positive thought? If the answer is yes, then you are still in the fight. And as long as you are in the fight, you have a chance to win. The power of one more is the power of hope in action. It's the refusal to accept no as a final answer. It's the courage to look at your exhaustion and say, you don't own me. In this final stretch of our journey together, I want you to consider the legacy of a life lived by this standard. At the end of our lives, we will not regret the times we tried and failed. We will regret the times we had one more in us and chose to walk away instead. We will regret the one more hug we didn't give, the one more risk we didn't take, and the one more day we didn't give our absolute best. Living a life of just one more is a commitment to excellence that transcends the task at hand. It becomes an identity. When you become the person who always does one more, you gain a level of self-confidence that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. You know that no matter what happens, you have the tools to endure. You have the one more in your pocket, and that makes you dangerous to your doubts. It makes you a leader. People follow those who go the extra mile, not because they are perfect, but because they are persistent. They follow the person who stays late to help, the person who tries a different angle when everyone else has given up, and the person who refuses to settle for good enough. Excellence is not a destination. It is a continuous pursuit of just one more. As you leave here today, I want you to carry this mantra with you like a hidden weapon. When the world tells you that you've done enough, ask yourself, do I have one more? When your body tells you to stop, ask, can I do one more? When your heart is heavy and the road is long, just focus on the next step. Just one more. This is how empires are built. This is how records are broken. This is how you change your world. You don't need a massive plan. You just need a massive commitment to the next small act. The power of just one more is the power to take control of your destiny, 1 inch at a time. It is the realization that you are the architect of your own limits, and you have the power to move them. So, when you get back to your work, your family, and your dreams, remember that the gap between where you are and where you want to be is paved with one more A's. Don't look at the distance, look at the ground beneath your feet. Take that one extra step. Make that one extra call. Give that one extra bit of effort. Me, because it is in those moments, the moments that don't seem to matter, that you are actually becoming the person you were meant to be. The world is waiting for your one more. Your family is waiting for it. Your future self is begging for it. Do not let them down. Do not let yourself down. Do Find the strength, find the grit, and find the heart to always, always give just one more. Think about the impact you have on others when you live this way. When you show up and give that extra effort, you give everyone around you permission to do the same. You become a catalyst for greatness in others. Your one more could be the spark that ignites a fire in someone who is just about to give up. We are all connected, and our efforts ripple out in ways we can't possibly imagine. Your commitment to excellence isn't just for you. It's for the world that needs people who refuse to be mediocre. It's for the children who are watching you to see what is possible. It's for the colleagues who are looking for a reason to believe in the mission. When you do just one more, you are making a statement about the value of human potential. You are saying that we are not just biological machines meant to consume and survive, but spiritual beings meant to create and thrive. This is the fire that burns in the heart of every great achiever. It's not a loud fire, it's a steady, unwavering flame. It's the flame of one more. It burns through the fog of confusion. It burns through the ice of indifference. It burns through the shadows of fear. And as long as you keep feeding that flame with your actions, it will guide you to places you never dreamed possible. So go out there and be the person who does one more. Be the person who stays when others leave. Be the person who tries when others quit. Be the person who loves when others hate. Because in the end, the one mores are the only things that truly count. They are the bricks that build the cathedral of your life. They are the notes that make up the symphony of your soul. Do not settle for a life of good enough. Do not settle for a life of, I tried. Settle for nothing less than a life of just one more. Every morning when you wake up, you are given a fresh supply of one more A's. You have a fresh supply of energy, a fresh supply of time, and a fresh supply of opportunity. What will you do with them? Will you spend them on comfort, or will you invest them in greatness? The choice is yours every single day. The choice is yours every single minute. Choose to be more. Choose to do more. Choose to give more. And watch as your life transforms from a series of tasks into a masterpiece of purpose. You have the power within you. You have the strength within you. You have the one more within you. Now go out there and use it. Change your life. Change your world. And never ever stop at enough. Always find the way to just one more. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your one more. Make it count.